Good morning, this is Dr. Cooper, and this is a podcast for the ENG091 Fundamentals of Writing class. This is our first week 1 podcast. So, as I promised in class, I was going to come back and show you just some things that you need to be working on to complete your orientation. Now, many of you are progressing quite nicely on this list that I created for you. So let me show you again how to get to that list and how to get working. So the big red button on the screen when you log into Canvas will get you started. So Get Started Orientation. And on this screen is where you see the list that we talked about in class and that we started on. And you want to go through and make your way through all of the items on the list. Okay, so a couple of areas where I think you might have trouble are with the journals and posting the correct URL. Also, you might have trouble with Connect. So I want to talk just quickly about those two things today. But before we go there, go ahead and scroll down on that list page and you'll see that we have a running tally of who's done what. So I haven't updated this yet, but I know that a couple more of you have finished your diagnostic and have actually written your journal, number 1 in Blogger. So I'll update this to show that both Mindy and Melissa have completed the diagnostic and posted their first journal. And I'll show you how they did that successfully so you can do it as well. Now remember, this is a test for you, this whole orientation. It's a test, for one, to figure out if you can follow directions, but it's also a test that if you have trouble following directions, which is not always a bad thing if you have trouble. The problem comes when you have problems following the directions and you don't ask questions. So that's number 2. That test is, are you going to be brave enough to ask a question? Okay, so that's your test. Can you follow the directions and finish the orientation? And if you have trouble, will you ask questions? Or will you just show up on Tuesday and say, I couldn't do it? That would be a failure. So ask questions, if you have any, after you've watched this video. Okay, so let's start with the Connect. So I'm going to scroll down the list to number 6 where it says Connect Writing. Now remember, you're supposed to go to the bookstore and buy the package. So I'm going to go ahead and click Connect Writing page. And inside of your book, you'll find this card. Remember the card that I ruined? I got a new card. But anyway, I got a new card. So I sent that to you in email. Alright, so on this page is a video that I already created for setting up your Connect. So I'm not going to go through that whole process again, but all you have to do basically is click this link underneath the video. If you don't understand what happens next, then watch the video that is there, okay? But you're just going to basically walk your way through and then you'll end up in Connect. Alright, so once you're over here in Connect, you'll see that in the Week 1 folder, you go to Student View, that you have the Diagnostic and Personalized Learning Plan to take. And all you have to do is click this test, or this link, and it's going to give you 50 questions. You're just going to answer these 50 questions the best that you can. There's no penalty for getting them all wrong, but you should definitely do the best that you can because based on how you did, you're going to get a personalized learning plan. And the personalized learning plan could be very long, depending on if you did well or didn't do very well, or it could be shorter. So doing your best now ensures that you don't have a lot of unnecessary work to do later. So just click that link and then follow through to completing the diagnostic. Okay, that's pretty simple there. Now once you're done taking the diagnostic, you're going to go and write a journal post about it. How did you do? So this time I'm going to go back to the orientation list and I'm going to go down to number 8, which is visit the Blogger page for instructions. So I'm going to go ahead and go over there and here's another video. So if you missed in class me showing you how to set up your blog, then watch the video. So I'm not going to go through that again. But once you've set it up, you're just going to go into your school email account or you could go directly to Blogger. Now the difference is if you go directly to Blogger, you're going to have to log in several different times. It's easier if you just go to your Gmail account. So let's try that one. All right, so I click the link. I'm going to go ahead and log in here. So I'm in my student email and I have no messages. I love an empty inbox. Hit the down button for more, hit Blogger, and now I am in Blogger. Okay, so here I have a blog and I want to add a post to it. Adding a post is here, not a new blog. You only need one blog, so this is the only blog you're going to use. But to create a new post, you do that here. Okay, so give it a title and then type in your information about the post here. All right, so I have my journal post title, which is important. You want to make sure that you always title your journals with journal number 1 and then give it a title. And then I wrote in my post, I said, I did great on my diagnostic. I was surprised I didn't get 100%, though, as I am awesome. So you can write whatever you want, just make sure that you write enough. So this is only 2 sentences, it's not enough. You need at least 6, so between 6 and 10 sentences for all of your journals. And then you want to make sure that you publish your journal. So I hit the publish button, and now, oops, I don't want to do that. And now I have a journal post. So I need to view that post, or I can just go to my blog and view it. Okay? So when you're on your blog and you're viewing it, you see all of your posts. And what I want for you to do is to grab the URL of just this post. So click on that title, and at the very top is the URL that you need to submit in Canvas. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Control copy, or right click copy. Okay, and now I'm going to go back to Canvas and submit this. Alright, so I'm back on the orientation page, and now I'm going to scroll down to number 9. So after you have a blog on Blogger, write your first journal post, which is journal number 1. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And again, in journal number 1 is the same instructions on how to set up your blog, but then down below, it's showing you what I just showed you a second ago about grabbing the URL. To do that, go ahead and hit Submit Assignment. And then at the very bottom, where you are going to submit the website URL, I'm going to paste that URL that I just got from Blogger. I don't need any comments, and I'm just going to hit Submit the Assignment. Okay, so then you'll get this information over here that shows that you submitted. It's turned in 8:42 August 23rd. If you want to view your submission details, click that, and then you can see that your URL worked. All right, if you don't see your web page pop up, then you didn't do it correctly. All right, so that's how you're going to submit your journal. So those are the 2 things that I think most of you will run into trouble with, but now I've come back and I've helped you, and so there aren't any excuses. But if you have questions, remember, you can go right up into the inbox at the top area here. I'm in student view, so let's leave student view. Alright, so your inbox is right here, and you can send a message to me there, or you could just send it to drcoop@freshmancomp.com like you can see on the syllabus. So go into the syllabus, or if you want to text me, my number is on the syllabus as well. So lots of different ways to ask questions if you have them. Okay, so let me just quickly go back to the orientation list, and you're going to make sure that you have completed all of these items, and then you can check your progress down here. So these people down here have a lot to do. Actually, Christopher and Xavier, or Javier, have been dropped. But the rest of you, Rachel, Edward, those of you that are down in the bottom need to make sure that you're moving your way up by getting Y's added here. Okay? So that's it for today's podcast. I'll be back on Monday to get you started on next week's work.